up, everybody? It's Soren Baker.
Amir, Rahimi.
And today on The Great Debaters, the D.O.C, one of rap's all-time greats, artist, songwriter, and genius. The Great Debaters. Alright, Amir, today on The Great Debaters, we are highlighting the D.O.C and his debut album, No One Can Do It Better. It came out in 1989, and we're going to pick our top 3 songs. This is another one of those. It's like, yes, there's 13 songs on here, and none of them are bad. So how do you really, in reality, pick the top 3? We're going to try to do it and see what we come up with. So, Amir, the D.O.C is clearly an elite artist. What is your first recollections of this album?
First recollections? I don't know. My first recollection of this album. I mean, it probably had to do with NWA, obviously. This is one of the earlier albums I had in my collection because, like I said in many videos, NWA and artists alike, I was really buying and listening to the music at first when I first got introduced to hip-hop. So this was also, by default, one of the first albums that I bought. And am I happy it was. And I remember seeing Grand Finale on here. I'm like, oh, this is featuring NWA. I want to hear that one. And I'm pretty sure at that time I was trying to listen to stuff in order, so that was the last song on the album. But, dude, this album, to start off with, it's funky enough, and to go the way it goes, and to have like little commercials in there too, was pretty genius. And I think the sequencing is just excellent and super well thought out. And when you get something produced by Dr. Dre, that's how it's going to turn out. But D.O.C, man, for me, probably for me, like the biggest what if in rap. The material that we got before the accident, after the accident, all, you know what I mean, like especially like in this, and then his contribution to other music is just so good. But to stay on track with my top 3 on this, I'm gonna go Mind Blowing for one of my picks. As track 2, it's literally what the title is, because because I wasn't listening to everything, obviously, like from the late 70s to the early 80s. This is late 80s. I don't know how people were flowing all on other albums, but when I first heard this, I was like, okay, he's doing something else.
Yeah.
His flow on this song is exceptional. I think also Dr. Dre's sample choice with the Cool Mo D is very clever. It's like the doctor, and just all that I think is cool, because the doc is at the D.O.C, the doctor is at Dr. Dre. What is he talking about? And just that's clever, and to have that just in the song, and then just his flow is just so good. He's really showing you how, and this is like, you can talk about the lyrics all you want, but it's also how are they performing the song. Right. And the D.O.C is showing you how to perform at levels that are really untouched. You know, only a few people can do it.
Right.
And as his album title alludes, no one can do it better. And he's really showing you, like on the track before it, it's funky enough how he's going a lot slower, and then you get this after, and then you get in other songs where he's going faster or slower. He's really kind of giving you the full course meal here. And Mind Blowing, to me, is one example, and one of my favorite top 3 songs for now, of how well he's doing it. So Mind Blowing.
I agree with all that, and it is an astonishing song, and we see this beautiful marriage of Dr. Dre, the best producer in rap history, and the D.O.C, one of the best writers for himself and others. Mm-hmm. Just phenomenal collaboration. And like Amir said, the samples and the scratching and how they work everything into this is just, it's an astonishing work. That being said, it's not one of my top 3. It's probably in my top half, but I'm going to go with It's Funky Enough. Now, granted, this is a single, this is the first song, but the power and the force of this song when it comes on,
yeah,
is so staggering, and it influenced Snoop Dogg with 1, 2, 2 to 3. You know, it's just so much about this song is amazing with the little reggae stuff. D.O.C. I was fortunate enough to interview him for my book, The History of Gangster Rap. He talked about making this song and how they were kind of just like, he didn't know what to do, which is kind of what that reggae-ish stuff is. And, you know, definitely gave me another appreciation for the song, that they had so much to the song and they were adding stuff and they didn't know how to make it better and all this. And then the result is just astounding. And this is another one of those songs where it was funny. I was at basketball camp and my brother Dylan, who likes rap, but of course not as much as me. I'll never forget, my parents and Dylan came to pick me up from basketball camp, and Dylan the whole way home, he didn't know parental discretion is advised. So he didn't know who the D.O.C. was, but he saw this video on Rap City or UMTV Raps the week I was going to basketball camp, and the whole ride home, he's like, Soren, this guy the D.O.C. is funky enough. He just kept telling me, he's like, Eazy-E's in the video, man, and they got this car and they pick up and they're looking for the D.O.C. And he's like telling me this whole thing, and I'm just like, I can't wait to see it. And then when I saw it, I was like, this is even better than how my brother described it. And I'll never forget how excited he was and how I thought it was even better than he articulated it, which was astonishing, being that we were both like little kids at the time. But that song, it's just one of those songs where, you know, Amir and I talk about this sometimes off camera, the sonic level and the sound of a Dr. Dre song versus other people's songs. It's like they're not even made the same way.
Yeah, they're not.
Clearly because they're not. But, you know, just the force of the sonics. And then D.O.C. is so strong and powerful and muscular on the song, and just like, he's not caring, man. And like, that to me makes this song phenomenal. And I just love the screams, the scratching, it's just too much for me, man. I love it. I love it.
The first thing when you put the needle on the record is that.
Yeah.
That you're like, did I go halfway through the song? Because it's so powerful. It's right in your face.
Right.
And that's, I'm happy you mentioned that, because that's not one of, that was one of the like top 5 where I was like, oh, I gotta take 2 out. That was one of them. And it's so powerful. And yeah, it's like, this is made in 89. You look at the other albums made in 89, you're like, well, Dr. Dre's using some other ingredients or something, because some of the stuff he's doing is just, you hear it on speakers now and then you're like, damn, this is still amazing. So moving on to my second pick. This is towards the end of the album. This is Portrait of a Masterpiece, and this is as far as like actual songs where he's rapping, it's one of the shorter ones.
Right.
And he, like on Mind Blown, where he's going faster, on this one he's going even faster. And I was talking to Soren about this, and I was trying to like describe the instrumental, but I couldn't think of a proper way to say it. But it's kind of like, you know, they're in '89, but they're trying to make a beat 20 years in the future, like what Dre's doing. It like in the beat you can kind of hear something. It kind of sounds like a robot or something, like I don't even know how to describe it, like a futuristic movie. But he's going in, like Dr. Dre's doing his thing on the production. The D.O.C. is really just flowing like no other. He's just going fast. There's even times where he's going like really fast. And then it's also interesting because, like I said, at this time I hadn't heard really anything like this. So for me being so young, I was just really mesmerized by everything that D.O.C. was doing on this song. And then another thing to me that was very awesome is just how they were able to make a break in this song towards the end of it, where the D.O.C. tells Dre to stop, and he's like, let me catch my breath. And Dre's like, what are you doing? That was funky. You know, he's like, I had to catch my breath. And one thing that is very, very, very subtle, but I appreciate, is how raw the song is. And to me, what I mean by that is, when Dre says, "Are you ready?" and D.O.C says, "Yeah," you hear D.O.C breathe, and then he goes to finish the last few bars. And to me, I think what a lot of engineers do nowadays, they'll take out a lot of the breathing, a lot of the stuff, and make it just super clean. To me, even in that split second where you hear him breathe to start his verse off, it's so much more raw and natural. And just little things like that, I think that they choose to leave in the song and just be a part of the song itself also just makes it even that much better. I think it's just that much more raw. And Portrait of a Masterpiece, to stop the song to only have like 5 more lines is also, it's just like, this song is incredible. And to be the second to last track on the album is, it just shows how good the album is.
Now, to me, it's not one of my picks, but again, it's in the upper echelons of the album. But my pick is somewhat, to me, like a companion piece, which is Whirlwind Pyramid. Because he's rapping faster on both of these songs, and the beats on both are otherworldly. And Whirlwind Pyramid, I just remember that was one of those early songs where I was like, what in the world is even a Whirlwind Pyramid? But then I was like, he's rapping fast. Like, I didn't know what in the world it was. But for the D.O.C to be coming from Feel It Fresh crew, Parental Discretion is Advised, this album, and then to be rapping fast, and then to have this imagery of me trying to figure out what a Whirlwind Pyramid looked like as I'm listening to this song. And just again, like, it's funky enough, the force that D.O.C has and his presence is just so remarkable. And with Whirlwind Pyramid, I think the fast beat, the fast rhyme, and the power of his voice and the muscularity of what he was doing, it just always appealed to me at the highest level. And it was just astounding.
Yeah, when I saw the track list, I was thinking the same. I bet a lot of people were. What the heck is this? And it's a fantastic song, but also not one of my picks. My last pick, we actually did an entire video on it, and that is Grand Finale. And this was my most anticipated track on the album just by looking at the track list. And yeah, it is the way to send off, to end an album, in my opinion. Properly titled The Grand Finale, having NWA on it. We discuss in detail in our video, which we'll have linked at the top of this one. But I just truly love how it's just a team effort. You know, we got Dre introducing everyone, we got Ice Cube, we got Eazy-E, Ren, and the D.O.C to finish it off. And just all the verses are so excellent, and we get all their personalities and everything, and then Dre shouting people out just throughout the song too. It's just truly just an exceptional performance from NWA, the D.O.C, everyone in it. And man, I love the instrumental to it as well. It was just, I'm so happy this song was made. Let me put it that way, because like we get Parental Discretion is Advised, and we get this one. I'm happy like they thought to make these songs when they were all together. Like,
absolutely, that's my third pick as well. And I think the beauty that we see in this song is that it's a braggadocio song. So with Straight Outta Compton and NWA's 2 other projects, we get the sense of probably really much more of Ren and Dre pushing each other. But here we get to see the excellence with D.O.C added to that as an artist, as a lyricist. And it's not just a focus on one of the artists. Ice Cube comes through, annihilates, and they all do. And we have, at this point, this is like, in my opinion, the best collection of artists that existed at the same time in a crew, with all the NWA members and adding in D.O.C. And man, the power that they had, and we see the brilliance that Ice Cube when he left, Dre when he left, D.O.C on this album, and as a part of Dre's crew. It's just what they all did. Even Ren, his solo career is remarkable as well if you really listen to it and pay attention to it. Eazy-E had some great songs afterwards, but here's like the last real example of it all coming together and being a masterpiece where they're focusing on rhymes and being great and making it a grand finale. Unfortunately, it actually was, literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
But the song is just, it's a masterpiece.
Yeah.
And again, it's rare that the last song on the album is one of the best, if not arguably the best song on the album, but this is one of those cases.
Yeah, this is my favorite song on the album, so.
So there you have it. Those are my 3 picks and Amir's 3 picks. But what do you guys think about the D.O.C's No One Can Do It Better? What are your top 3 picks? Hit us up in the comment section. As always, like, subscribe, and share to both Unique Access Entertainment and Rappin' and Snackin' on YouTube. And be sure to talk about this with your friends, because the D.O.C. is one of the greats, and we need to acknowledge that. Yes, I'm Soren Baker.
Amir, Rahimi.
The Great Debaters, y'all.
Be sure to check out the History of Gangster Rap by Soren Baker. He's official.
History of Gangster Rap features exclusive interviews with Ice-T, Snoop Dogg, MC Ren, the D.O.C, and dozens of others. The History of Gangster Rap, a definitive look at how Los Angeles changed rap forever.
In Los Angeles, the streets definitely set the tone of the hip-hop music.
At 19, I got a $50,000 car.
My whole angle always was, I'll be street, but I will always tell you the horrors that go along with this life.
There will be penalties and casualties for just wearing the wrong color in somebody's neighborhood.
And once gangster rap made it from the streets to the TV, the genre exploded.
With Fab 5 on Your MTV Raps with NWA.
Yo MTV, it just catapulted us from being local heroes to national gangbang rappers.
The History of Gangster Rap discusses it all from 1980 up till today.
It's always gonna be shit happening in the streets. You know what I mean? So it's always gonna be something to talk about.
The History of Gangster Rap in stores now.